sleeping is also a great asset. Some people, the night comes, they start getting worried, eating all the cold. And some of their houses will be like heat to airports. Each of them will be talking, I don't eat, I if you listen to stories, you get it. Today morning I had Pongal. And now I am telling you the story. But the beauty is the person who has had Pongal will not get sleep. Person who listens may get. That is why I told you, you are free to show your expressions. That will give me a relief that we are all, as of now, awake. Okay. So here the Lord was reclining. Paarkadavul paiyan tuyindra paravan. What is paiyan? How many of you speak Tamil? Paiyan in Tamil also translates to manni, means anubhavittu. You should experience a certain act. When we sing, first we should experience that singing. First you should experience. How do we sleep? We should experience. Imagine for people like us or a lot of people who are in the consulting field, you may be traveling a lot and we may have some red-eye flights. We may have flights for which we may have to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning. You know, how will those nights be? Though we may have placed an alarm for 1 a.m. in the morning to wake up, we will once wake up at 10 p.m. and check. Sleep. 11 p.m. again, we'll wake up and check. Mid of the night. Nishacharaha. The Rakshasas keep wandering, we'll wake up again. We are no different. So, 1 a.m. is the alarm. 12:30 we'll wake up. And now we look at the alarm, if the alarm is going to work or not. So if it is such a restless, non-experienceable sleep, this is not the case with the Lord. He will sleep comfortably. Urangavadapol yogashayam perumal. That's Alvar. He sleeps comfortably. Well, I used to be wondering at one point in time, what is comfortable sleep? What is enjoying sleep? How do you enjoy sleep? I was largely brought up by my grandparents. My parents had outsourced, so the process of outsourcing began at a very young age for me, even before India could think. So I was outsourced for care to my grandparents, and I thought that's the best, the golden period of my life which can never be gotten back. My grandfather served the State Bank of India. I'm sure there are branches in the UK too. So he served for 37 years. In those days, serving one firm for 37 years was a sign of your loyalty and gratefulness. But if you serve for more than 2 years in a firm today, it's a sign of your redundancy, inconsistency, you're a dud. You just can't do anything and you've been serving in the same firm. So it's the vice versa today. So he served the State Bank of India, and as he was about to retire, my grandmother found solace. She thought, thank God, now I can wake up late. So my grandfather used to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and he used to brew the coffee for the entire house. So he used to take the coffee powder. I'm sure way back in India, you go to the coffee shop, you ensure that the seeds are taken right in front of you. Then they are given a general heating on the tawa, and then they are put onto the machine right in front of you. You don't trust anybody. And then there has to be the right mixture of chicory in it. So it has to be either 80-20 or 70-30. So my grandfather would ensure every particle of it. So then he would bring the coffee powder home. At 4 a.m. in the morning, he would put 2 or 3 spoons of coffee on the first half of the filter. It's like the Dvaya Mahamantram, Purvardham, Uttaradham. So he put that at the top. And then he would take boiling hot water and then put it on the first compartment. And then you get the That smell is very intoxicating. Even more than the coffee, the smell will be intoxicating. And then he would take the decoction again and put it on the top. It's called double decoction. Try it out. And then he would take the decoction and then would let the milk boil. In Bangalore, the milk is called Nandini. It will take a lot of time for it to boil, or we need to give that time because the water that has been mixed into it has to get evaporated. And then you get thick milk. You have to take the right mix of the milk and the decoction, put it together. And then, by then it would be 6 a.m. So all this process will take 2 hours, 2 full hours. And he was absolutely fine with it. Then he would take the Hindu paper. Have you heard of the Hindu paper? You take the Hindu paper and he would read the paper. He would take the Hindu paper. Then it used to be good. So, he used to take the Hindu paper and used to take the coffee. You know how he would drink? There are 2 vessels that you use for drinking coffee. One, the tumbler, and second, the vessel with which you can actually ensure that it comes at the right condition. It should neither be too hot nor too cold. Tamil uses a very close and a very pampered word. It's called Ulavikardu. So then he would take the coffee and then he would roll tumbler like this and then put the coffee drop by drop. This is called experiencing a process. Parpadalul paiya tuyindra paraman. He used to experience sleep in such a fashion. And Bhrigu came, he said hello. The Lord did not reply. He, like a child that feels quite insulted when the parents don't pay heed to its calls, Bhrigu came running and kicked on the chest of the Lord. It was a 6.3 Richter scale earthquake that was felt by Mahalakshmi because she was resting there. The Lord woke up and he came close to Bhrigu and said, Bhrigu! Bhrigu was thinking that there will be a huge war between the two. You know what the Lord said? You took all the pain to use your lotus-like feet to kick on my rock-like chest. I need to apply some balm on your feet so that I can bring the pain down. The moment he said that, Bhrigu tweeted, in the process Operation Sattva, Vishnu is declared the most Sattva. Well, this was accomplished. When he looked around, he saw his wife missing because Lakshmi thought, why should I live with a senseless person like you? She would have expected the Lord to come out as Nrisimha, take his chakram and do. Then she will, of course, tell her set of kitty party friends, look at my husband, he's such a hero. And look at this senseless man who adds no salt to his food. I don't know if this is a cliche that's used in English, but in Indian languages we say, so she immediately came down to a beautiful hamlet called Karapeerapuram, which is today called Kolhapur. She was in deep penance. The Lord comes down in search of Mahalakshmi. There could be a lot of questions. Sir, when you say the Lord came in search of Mahalakshmi, didn't he have access to CCTV cameras? Is he not omnipresent? Absolutely pertinent questions. He knows about everything at all points in time. But with no drama, you will get no result. He has to enact a drama for us to relish. If life is just about philosophy and meditation, I'm sure I will go to Mars and not stay on Earth. Life has to be full of emotions, right? And we, Indians way back in India, are more dramatic than most dramatists of this world. Hapriya! Hippo! Hindi! Tiriya! See, we are all natural dramatists. Shakespeare must have had his own tenure in India, learned a few nuances and then come and drafted the Julius Caesar and the Romeo and Juliet and whatnot. We're dramatists. So the Lord came in search of Mahalakshmi. He positioned himself beneath a Valmikam. Valmikam ante emi? Very good. Karayan Putru. Anthills are called Valmikam. And that is when the neighboring king procured a cow and a calf, who were no different from Brahma and Shiva. So as he let the cows graze, the cow used to go and lactate by itself. It volunteered into the crevices of that anthill. So the Lord used to receive milk. The queen was a bit suspicious, so she sent her husband, the king, with an axe. So as the king was about to axe the cow, the Lord arose from the anthill in order to shield the cow and received a wound instead. So this king was later born as Akasha Raja in the close by kingdom. He did not have children for a very long time. So he sought the divine intervention. He performed the Ishti mentioned in the Shraudha Shastram called as Putra Kama Ishti. Who was born as a result of it? Adhikadu. ಯಾರು ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಇಪ್ಪ ಆಕಾಶ ರಾಜ ಪುತ್ರಕಾಮಿಷ್ಟಿ ಮನೆ ಯಾರು ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ತೂತುಕುಡಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ఉంటున్నారు ఈజ్ ఆల్రెడీ ప్రెసెంట్ ఏమండి మా తాయ ఓర్మ పిన్నాడి అవಳು ఉంటున్నాడు పవర్ సెంటర్ ఇస్ బిహైండ్ the Lord is here but his power center is behind. He's under remote control, so we should seek asylum under her feet. In those days, they used to keep question. If you go to some of the Garbhagृhams of the Lord, Vishnu will be holding his hand like this, palm like this. It's called Abhaya Hastam. Since we come with a certain fear factor in our minds, either about our profession, personal life or whatnot, we come with such fear to the Lord and he says, don't worry, I am there for you. We come with bhayam. He says, don't worry. So it's abhayam. So the Lord holds his palm like this, abhayam mudra. Don't worry, I am there. But we are a bit skeptical about the tone and tenor in which he says, right? The tone matters a lot. So when the person promises in this tone, you are not sure whether the person has liked our request, whether the person will actually do it. So when we stand in front of the Lord, he says, Abhayam, don't worry. But the tone and tenor don't seem to convince us. We are a bit skeptical about this man who has promised us, whether he keep up his promise. With this dilemma in our minds, we go to the Garbhagೃham of Padmavati. She is also holding her palm like this. Why is she holding? She says, don't worry about him. So he says, don't worry about your sins. She says, don't worry about the man who says, don't worry about your sins. I'll take care of him. So she ensures that she is behind him, not to say that he is superior to her, but to prod him and trick him. So it's not an act of subservience, it's not an act of but to say that my children will come today, they have been seated from 11:15, they have been caught at the hands of one speaker who is not letting them till now. Ensure that your alankaram is over at the right time and he finishes at the right time. So she will keep calling. So she was born as the daughter of Akasha Raja. She is called Padmavati. But there is a question. I said the king performed the Ishti called Putra Kama Ishti. But who is born? Putri. What is this? Gender has changed suddenly. Remember in Sanskrit, Putra in general indicates the son, Putri in general indicates the daughter. But when you extend the pronunciation of a certain word of the same community, Putra, Putri, they are Homo sapiens only. So if I say Putra, 1 second, Putri, 2 seconds. So Putri The meaning associated with Putri can also be a part of Putra. Putri became Putra. What is it? See, for example, we say the man and the woman. We say mankind and womankind. Because in mankind itself the womanliness will come. Likewise, Putri will come under Putra. So he wanted a child, he didn't mention the gender, be it the male or the female, he received Padmavati. Padmavati grew up with all humility and glamour. It was a judicious combination of the both. Hantaras mudanti kamala danta mudam tavakaha tells Venkatesa Kavi. He was a great Sanskrit poet in the 16th century. He says that the hands of Padmavati would turn red. When would it turn red for us? We'll say allergy, hazelnut allergy, groundnut allergy, milk allergy. No. She used to nurture a beautiful parrot, Shuka. And she used to hold the Shuka on her palm. At one point in time, while she looked at the parrot and smiled, the red hue that she had applied on her lips. What is the red hue that we speak of today? What is it called? Lipstick. Remember that the most things that we mentioned in cosmetics were found in those days too. So it's called Kopai Sepai Tirukudal in Tamil. So she used to apply the red hue. And then while she used to smile, the reflection of the red hue from her lips used to fall on the white rows of teeth. So at one point in time, the teeth used to look like pomegranate seeds because the red hue reflection is falling. The parrot that she is holding on her hand would think that they are pomegranate seeds and would come closer to prick. But then she would stop and no, these are my teeth and my lips, not the pomegranate seeds. As she used to go here, front and back, the bangles that she used to sport used to go hither and thither and they used to cause skin rashes on her, it seems. Hantaras tamasam mudanti kamala danta mudam tavakaha. So while she was playing with her friends, she apparently was driven away by the elephant, the wild elephant. So as she was running for shelter and help, she saw Lord Srinivasa, who was then nurtured as the son of Bakula-manika, a forest hermitess. So both of them, as Padmavati, you can imagine one of the present-day movies. So Padmavati comes running, Srinivasa comes from the other side, they have an embrace, there's a beautiful music composer movement, there's a background music that goes on, they go back to their respective houses with fond memories of embracing each other. It's a simple marriage. The boy expresses the love that he has for Padmavati to his mother. He says, my mother, you don't have to release advertisements in the matrimony websites. I've already spotted a girl. She is the daughter of the princess of this kingdom. Go seek her in marriage for me. And she goes. Likewise, the Lord ensures that his mother's journey is smooth by going as a fortune teller and convinces Padmavati's parents that Bakula-manika's son Srinivasa is the only groom that they should look at. So their marriages are fixed. So the problem is not here, but the problem is in the financials of the marriage. So in those days, it was so much gender neutral that the expenses of the marriage had to be borne equally by both sides. So while Padmavati was super rich, he was superly in destitution. That's Srinivasa. So he wanted some financial assistance, help. So the only bank that was able to lend him at 24% interest was Kubera Bank. So Kubera said, you will end up paying more interest than the principal that you have sought off till the end of Kali Yuga. The Lord said, don't worry, I shall open my headquarters at Tirumala and my branch office at Birmingham. So I will ensure that the loan is cleared at the earliest. But the problem was to get loan. Finally, Kubera said, I need a witness signature. I need somebody to sign for you. Lord Shiva said, I will come and sign for my friend Srinivasa. Kubera said, what property you have? You are living in your father-in-law's house. You don't have any collateral. What will you say? Then Brahma came. Brahma said, don't worry, I have got the money producing machine, so I will ensure good or black money, whatever money will come. So they all signed. The marriage was fixed in a beautiful place, even today near Tirumala Tirupati. It's below, it's called Appalaya Gunta. Then it is said for that marriage, while beautiful rangoli patterns were laid on the ground, they wanted a melange of colors. They wanted the red, the green and the blue. So where would they go? So they brought the rubies from Myanmar, the sapphires from Sri Lanka, the pearls of Tuticorin, the diamonds of Kimberley and Johannesburg, pounded them and laid the rangoli. So the rangoli was more precious than anything else there. So now came the question of preparing food for all the people who had come. So they had to make korandu and the sambar. What is sambar? Korandu. What is sambar in English? Lentil soup. Lentil thick soup. Thick. Yeah. If it is thick, it becomes rasam. So they had to make the korandu, and nobody could go hungry. So while this was the question, in Brahmanda Puranam, the cooks come and ask, Oh Srinivasa, you have to tell where to make sambar. We don't have a proper vessel for that. He said, check with Ratna Stoves, Pondi Bazaar. They also did not have a proper vessel. Then he said, prepare the sambar in the temple tank. If you meet Tirupati, next to the temple atop, you will see the Swami Pushkarini, the Padam. So it is said in Brahmanda Purana that the sambar was made in the temple tank. The temple tank was a vessel. Imagine fire coming from beneath. This is stone. How will it help in the cooking? No. I am sure a lot of the elders here will be able to associate. You will have stone vessels at home to make sambar. So then a question was asked by the cooks and his assistants. Whom should we serve the food to? Because we have a practice in Sanatana Dharma that whatever little we consume, we serve to our Lord. Now comes another logical question. Will the Lord feel hungry? Sanatana Dharma doesn't treat God in certain scenarios as omnipresent. It treats him as his very own son. So we need to serve food. So they asked, whom should we serve? Srinivasa said, I will ask my mother. Vakudamalika said, this food has to be served to our family deity, Kuladaivam, who is the Nrisimha of Ahobilam. Food was served. Then there is this beautiful marriage that took place between Akasha Raja's daughter Padmavati and Vakudamalika's son, Srinivasa. And he promised that he should stay atop this abode of Tirumala in Kali Yuga to bless his devotees through his external beauty, at the same time with his innate characteristics, which is mercy. Srinivasa Kampaya Apinikhilaloka Sucharita Mushtimundaya Durita Mochana Dushtam Sanjeevayatu Daye Ma Anjanagirinath Ranjani Bhavati Bhagavatu Daye Bhavatya Vishagirinathe Samaplute Tunge Apratikavajjanana Hastadambo Madagasa Mrityaha Kripanajana Kalpalatikam Kridaparadhasya Nishkriyam Adhyam Vrishagirinatha Dayetva Vidanti Samsara Tarini Vibudha. At one point in time, Vedanta Deshika states, what is the use of the Lord when there is no mercy in him? Bhoga Baleshwarya Veerya Shaktimkaha Dosha Bharein Vede Yadinamadaye Tvaya Vina Bhutaha. So he stayed there, and as he stayed there, he blesses his devotees. That is when Padmavati said, I shall appear in a beautiful temple tank in Tiruchanur. So Tiruchanur is Tirushukan Ur. Shukar. is said to have performed his penance there. So it's called Shukanu. We get Tiruchanu. So she stays there, and we have had a plethora of historical inscriptions. When Srirangam was invaded in 1321 CE and 1323 CE, the Utsava deities of Srirangam called Alagiya Manavalan, along with his Ubhaya Nachimar Sridevi and Bhudevi, were taken in the forests of Koshtipuram, Govindapuram, Ernakulam, Terakkanambi, Melakotai for a period of 48 years. And after this long, arduous journey, in 1336 CE, we had two kings called Bukkaraya and Harihara, who were asked to start the empire called Vijayanagara by Vidyaranya Bharati of Sringeri Mahasamnidhanam. And in around 1351, Kumara Kampa